That's the level 100 monster chest. Never mind. Never mind. Heading to the mountain path reminds me that your former pack is located there. Are they divine wolves too? No, no. They are only ordinary wolves. Even so, I consider them my kith and kin. They and their ancestors have followed me for generations, ever since Ursula walked this soil. So they're like family to you. It's no wonder you were able to intimidate Rabache's warhounds so easily back when we first met. Do you suppose your pack is still alright? There's no need to fret. I made sure to give them detailed instructions before my departure. I imagine they're watching things unfold from a safe distance even as we speak. Well, I do have a moment. I wanted to give you this. Oh! Is this your personal pom-pom party account? Indeed. I thought it might provide a fun distraction from our current predicament. Feel free to challenge me at any time. I would be more than happy to obliterate you. Wow. All right, you're on. Tio's confident in her pom party skills, and that's putting it lightly. I'll have to give it all I've got to stand a chance. No. No. I respect my sanity too much for that. I spotted Risha on the deck. Seemed to have her head in the clouds a bit. Arc-en-Ciel, Heyu, her duty is Yin. I'm sure the girl has a lot on her mind. Why not go out there and lend her an ear? Maybe even give some advice? You never know. You may just raise a romance flag or two. I have no idea what you're talking about. What kind of ulterior motives do you think I have? At any rate, you would never know a girl like Risha was Yin if not for that getup. Her real personality is so plain and unassuming. You might even call it a natural camouflage. Hi. Elia has finally regained consciousness. I couldn't be more thrilled about that. It's not too late, Risha. When you're ready to see her face to face, just say the word. I promise we'll find the time to head back to St. Ursula the moment you do. Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate the concern. But right now, my focus is on liberating Crossbell City and the rest of Arc-en-Ciel. There's still work to be done before I can proudly stand in front of Elia and tell her the truth. Fair enough. That's all the more reason to free the city as quickly as we can. And when we do, I know you'll be able to face Elia with your head held high. I intend to give my very best for everybody who's counting on us, Kia and Elia included. Are you with me, Risha? Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. I learned the Resistance's location through the intel I intercepted from the Defense Force while I was hiding out at the ancient battlefield. Thinking back on that reminds me, I'm still indebted to Heyu in more ways than one. It's a shame that my contract with them couldn't have been voided on more amiable terms. Someday, I'll make sure to repay Cao and his people for everything they've done for me. Okay, that is it from Risha. I don't need to sleep. So Noe really is sticking with the CDF, huh? Even though she knows that means fighting against us. Even though she knows that they blew you up with a bomb. Last I spoke to her, yes, her resolve was as firm as steel. Even now, I'm not sure what made Noelle so set on taking that path. It feels like there's more to it than just this recent string of events. You're probably right. If I had to guess, it all comes back to our dad passing away when we were kids. He was hit by a misfire during a Republican Army training drill at the eastern border. Oh. That explains a lot. What? You're telling me that's the accident your father passed away from 10 years ago? I was still little at the time, so I don't have all the details straight. But from what they told us, a stray bullet from a Republican Army exercise struck my dad by mistake while he was on guard duty, from all the way across there? Like, was it an accidental sniper gun misfire? Sniper rifle misfire? Like, that doesn't make sense. That's terrible. How far can your guns shoot in this universe? Given Crossbell's situation, though, there was no way to really push his death as a major issue. In the end, it was swept under the rug as just another accident. Our mom was heartbroken, but she ultimately accepted it as part of the risks that came with his job. But Noe, I don't think she ever did. It probably still haunts her even after all this time. You might be right, Fran. I feel like I have a better understanding of why Noe is so Noelle. I just keep instinctively calling her Noe. Why Noelle is so determined to protect Crossbell now. Alright, let's travel in the Merkaba to here. The resistance group we're looking for is somewhere on the mountain path. Shall we head toward the mining village to start? I'm worried about the state of things in mines. But before that... Don't tell me. You're thinking of visiting a certain someone along the way? Duh. The Rosenberg Studio. One of the 13 factories. Even if the game wasn't going to tell me to go visit the doll studio, I think we all know I was going to visit the doll studio. The Meister said he would speak to us if he felt inclined. Is that so? As it happens, I once tried to infiltrate the workshop myself. And you're alive? Good for you. But the lower floors were so labyrinthine that I had to give up on the operation. I'm not sure if that's for better or for worse. Joerg, huh? It's been many moons since last we met, but I hear he's doing well for himself. What? Is that you're acquainted with the Meister? We're vaguely aware of each other's circumstances, to say the least. He may be alive with those serpents, but he is nevertheless a craftsman of tradition and integrity. I have no doubt that he is someone we can trust. Really now. We ought to drop by then. I'd love to hear more about the society. Shall we make a detour there before continuing to mines? Yeah, let's head over. Yes, another beam me up location. Our network grows. Let's go for a tea party then. I'm down. Who doesn't like tea parties? You get tea and cake. I hate those plants. I don't remember if there is another monster hunt on this route. There probably is. We'll find out. Hopefully it's not another one of those large plants though. Or worms. I'm fine with anything that's not that. I know we still need to fight Quetzalcoatl. I don't remember if there's anything else though. Here we are. I just hope he's in right now. Considering the situation, I doubt he's been able to go anywhere else. At this point in the game, you started to get bored and all you wanted to do is finish. That's right, I haven't. What the? A speaking tube? I had a hunch you would be showing up soon. That guy doll again, huh? Come in. I don't know how I feel about Joerg's voice coming from this doll. Well, I shouldn't have to remind you. Be aware that I cannot guarantee your safety if you stray from the little one. Why not have a speaking tube? We have a speaking dog. That's fair. But my dog is deity adjacent. What is your tube? Cautious as always, that man. Well, at least he's to the point. Saves us time. Let's head inside. After you. Oh. They don't even give me the option to deviate from the path. You even brought a guest in tow. An exceptionally elusive one at that. It's been some time, Divine Wolf. Oh, you're talking about the dog. I thought you were talking about Risha. That it has, child of man. Why was man capitalized? I have questions. You've aged far worse than I have. Okay. Zeit over here being brutal. And you're still involved with those serpents, from the looks of it. Some bonds never break, even after departing this earthly realm. The same could be said of the pact that bound you, could it not? Just so. Something about this seems a bit removed from our comprehension. Yeah, it doesn't even feel like they're talking about the world we know anymore. That aside, you also brought a dominion of the Grossritter, as well as the demon of the Eastern Quarter who tried to break in here. I can't control what Risha does. What do you want from me? This is quite a motley little menagerie you've set up for yourselves. You're telling us. My apologies for that, by the way. Meister Joerg, we're doing all we can to fight back against everything that's happening right now. Is there anything you can tell us that would help? Specifically, anything about the Society's recent activity? As I'm sure you've surmised by now, the Society's stance in this is to simply cooperate with the Croix family's plans. Their focus, the Phantasmal Blaze plan, has already shifted to the next stage. The Erebonian Empire, to be more precise. What? He's right. Another Anguis and multiple enforcers have already begun to act over there. That's part of why the Grossritter couldn't spare more manpower for the situation here in Crossbell. That is not good. The continent is experiencing more upheaval than we can imagine right now. But having said all that, 3 dangerous figures still remain in the state. Each of them is a prominent member of the Society. What, Campanella, the doctor dude, and Arianrod? Campanella the Fool, as well as the 2 Anguis, Professor Novartis and the woman known as Arianrod. Just who is she, exactly? Her agility, her reflexes, they're unlike anything I've ever seen. I couldn't tell you where she draws her strength from. However, she's known in the society for her incomparable spearmanship, as well as her strict moral code. Then why is she with your group? Does not compute. She's also accompanied by 3 maidens of war, young women whom she discovered and trained herself. And each is said to have strength equivalent to that of an enforcer. That would make them as powerful as Ren. To be fair, being an enforcer involves a lot more than pure combat strength, from what I can tell. In any case, that would total out to 6 members of the society cooperating with the Croix family. But cooperation doesn't necessarily mean active participation, right? Isn't there a chance they won't further involve themselves with the battle over Crossbell? That is wishful thinking, my dude. Anything is possible. But I would remain wary of that louse, Novartis. He is particularly invested in those ions, now that they've received the Septarian's power. That is the extent of what I can tell you about their plans. That's all, huh? Dealing with them will not be easy. As an aside, there's something I've been wanting to ask you about since our last visit. Are you currently performing maintenance on Patermatter? Oh, it said hello! What a good bean. Did it just talk? Let's return to our previous conversation. We have a talking dog. He has, well, it's a speaker, it's not really a talking tube. But now there's a talking robot. Let's just all move along. This is less maintenance and more of a routine checkup. That jackanape, interesting, of a professor is also particularly taken by this machine. Fortunately, he's been too focused on his new toys, so I doubt there's anything to worry about. Good to be back on stream. Welcome to Stream Plabins. However, in the event he returns to steal Patermatter, I've arranged things so that it can easily escape. I'll take your word for it. Wow. Literally stealing a toy from a child. That's a choice. So in case of emergency, it'll make a flight path straight to Liberl, where the Angel of Slaughter is. From the sound of it, though, you and the professor must not get along very well. You will never hear me deny that. The Gordius series was something I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into. Then he stole the development data away, conducted inhumane compatibility tests, and cast all of the burden onto Ren. Even if her connection was successful, the trials he put that little girl through are something I can never forgive. Understandable. That sounds no better than the kind of experiments the cult performed. So Ren got to go through torture from the cult at one of their lodges. I think she was at Paradise. And then she got to go through almost the same thing from Ouroboros, and yet stayed as a member of Ouroboros? Okay. And to top it all off, he went and designed successors incapable of operating properly without the power of a Septarian. What nerve and impudence he has to call them the pinnacles of the Gordius series. It took all I had not to wipe the smirk off his face and strangle that chicken neck of his the last time he was here. Go for it. I condone it. Did it now. Mind yourself, Meister. You always were one to get carried away when it came to defending your creations. I digress. Regardless of how shameless he is, there's no denying his genius when it comes to technology and applied engineering. I've heard that in addition to remodeling and upgrading the archaisms that I designed, he's figured out how to mass produce them. So he has a habit of stealing other people's research and just changing it a little bit. Supposedly, some have already been deployed to Stargazer's Tower and the Moon Temple. Oh yeah, we saw those. That would explain the ones we saw in front of the tower. No question that they looked strong. Taking into account the locations in which they've been stationed, are we correct in assuming they are guarding the bells at each ruin? More likely than not. I've been researching those artifact bells myself. I will let you know if I come to any significant conclusions. You do that for us? Color me suspicious. Where's all of this generosity coming from? I can watch the story of Trails Ren. That won't be like spoilery for future games. It'll just be like her backstory. Because if it's just her backstory, I might just watch it so that I know about Ren. But I don't want to be spoiled for anything to come in future games. You're on Cold Steel 3 and you need to watch the anime now? I did not know there was an anime. I guess I'm adding that to the list now. I'm just as upset by the current state of affairs as you are. There's that upstart Novartis to put in his place too. Not to mention the mess they made of the pieces I toiled over for my associates at Arc-en-Ciel. Oh yeah, you did make their set, and then Shirley kind of, she Shirley'd it? So, I guess revenge. That's right. The staging and automata at Arc-en-Ciel was destroyed in the raid. Indeed. And I intend to personally rebuild every last bit of it for them. All of this is to say that I cannot overlook what the Red Constellation has done, nor the head of the Croix family for hiring them. The daughter of the Croix family may be a long-time collector of my works, but that will win her no favor from me. Taking no prisoners, I see. It takes place between 2 and 3. And in 3, they mention stuff from the anime? That is kind of annoying. At least it's only 12 episodes. I can knock that out in a day. I understand why you'd feel that way. Your cooperation would be a tremendous help, to be honest. Please let us know if you learn anything at all about the bells.